Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about very important topic, which is PPAP, production part approval process. Friends, before starting this video, I would like to say you, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, then please do subscribe first and also press on the bell icon to get the notification about my future videos. So friends, without wasting any time, let's start the video. Friends, there are 5 core tools in IATF 16949-2016 which are Advanced Product Quality Planning, APQP, Production Part Approval Process, PPAP, Measurement System Analysis, MSA, Statistical Process Control, SPC, Failure Modes and Effect Analysis, FMEA. And today in this video you will learn about Production Part Approval Process. First, we have need to understand what is PPAP. PPAP is production part approval process. It is very important tool for establishing the confidence in product supplier and their production process. It was initially developed by AIAG, Automotive Industry Action Group, in 1993 with input from the Big Three, Ford, Chrysler and General Motors. AIAG's fourth edition, effective from 1 June 2006, is the most recent version of PPAP. PPAP has now spread to many different industries beyond the automotive, and it provides evidence that all the customer design records and specification requirements are properly understood by the organization, and also to demonstrate that the manufacturing process has the potential to produce the product that consistently meet all requirements during an actual production run at the quoted production time. Next question is, when is PPAP required? At what time we have need to do the PPAP? PPAP is required at the time of new product development. It is required at the time of engineering change. It is required at the time of tooling transfer, replacement, refurbishment, additional. It is required at the time of correction of discrepancy, mean to say correction of any variant. It is required at the time of tooling inactive, which may be greater than 1 year. It is required at the time of change to optional material, when we have another option of material for the product manufacturing. It is required at the time of sub-supplier or material source change, when we have need to change the sub-supplier or material source. It is required at the time of part produced at new or additional location, when we are going to change the location of manufacturing. What are the benefits of PPAP submission? PPAP helps to maintain design integrity. It identifies issues early for resolution. It reduces warranty charges and prevents the cost of poor quality. It assists with managing supplier changes. It prevents the use of unapproved and non-conforming parts. It identifies suppliers that need more developments. It improves the overall quality of the product and customer satisfaction. So these are the benefits of PPAP submission. So friends, let's move to the next levels of PPAP. It is very important to understand the levels of PPAP. There are 5 levels of PPAP. In level 1, warrant only submitted to the customer, which is for designated appearance items and appearance approval report. In level 2, warrant with product samples and limited supporting data submitted to the customer. In level 3, warrant with product samples and complete supporting data submitted to the customer, and this level is also called default level of PPAP. In level 4, warrant and other requirements as defined by the customer, and in level 5, warrant with product samples and complete supporting data reviewed at the organization manufacturing location. So these were the different levels of PPAP. Now I am going to talk about submission requirements of PPAP. So friends, you can see here different requirements and their submission levels. These requirements are different types of documents of PPAP, and we have need to understand which type of document is required at what level. So friends, where S is mentioned, it means the organization shall submit to the customer and retain copy of records at appropriate location. Where R is mentioned, this means the organization shall retain at appropriate location and make available to the customer upon request. Where star is mentioned, this means the organization shall retain at appropriate location and submit to the customer upon request. So these are the requirements of PPAP and their different submission levels. Now we have need to understand about PPAP documents, which type of documents are required in production part approval process. There are 18 documents or elements of PPAP, which are design records, authorized engineering change document results, engineering approval if required by the customer, design failure modes and effect analysis, process flow diagram, process failure modes and effect analysis, control plan, measurement system analysis, dimensional results, records of material performance test, initial process studies, qualified laboratory documents, appearance approval report, sample production parts, master sample, checking aids, customer specific requirements, and part submission warrants. So these are the documents which are needed for PPAP. So friends, let's discuss about these PPAP documents one by one in details. The first PPAP document is design records. What is design record? A design record is a copy of drawing, either it is given by the customer with purchase order or developed by the supplier. If the supplier is responsible for designing, then this is a released drawing in the supplier release system. Second document of PPAP is authorized engineering change documents. Those documents which are required at the time of engineering change. Authorized engineering change document is a document that shows the detailed description of the change. Usually this document is called ECN, engineering change notice, but it may be covered by the customer PO or any other engineering authorization. The third document of PPAP is engineering approval if required. If required means whenever we have need of any kind of approval related to the engineering by the customer, then we need this type of document. Engineering approval is usually the trial taken with production parts and takes an approval for production plant from the customer. A temporary deviation is an example of engineering approval. The next fourth document is design failure modes and effect analysis, which is DFMEA. This is done by the designer who is responsible for the product designing. A copy of design failure modes and effect analysis reviewed and signed off by the supplier and customer. Design maker is responsible for DFMEA. So friends, let's move to the fifth PPAP document, which is PFD, process flow diagram. A copy of PFD including all steps and sequence of operations including incoming components to final part dispatched. It is also known as flowchart. The sixth PPAP document is PFMEA, process failure modes and effects analysis. A copy of PFMEA reviewed and signed off by the supplier and customer. The PFMEA follows the flowchart steps and indicate what could go wrong during the operation and assembly of each component till product dispatched. Seventh PPAP document is control plan. A copy of control plan is reviewed and signed off by supplier and customer. The control plan follows the PFMEA steps and provides more detail on how the potential issues are checked in incoming quality assembly process or during inspections of finished product until the dispatched final product. Next, eighth PPAP document is MSA, measurement system analysis. Measurement system analysis usually contains the gauge R&R study for critical or high impact characteristics. It gives the confirmation that the measurement system and instrument and appraiser is able to measure these characteristics of the product. Next, ninth document is dimensional results. A list of every dimension noted on the balloon drawing. This list shows the product characteristics, specification, the measurement results, and the assessment showing if this dimension is okay or not okay. Let's move to the next 10th PPAP document, records of material performance test results. A summary of every test performed on the part. This summary is usually on a form of DVP and R. DVP and R means Design Verification Plan and Report, which lists every individual test, when it was performed, the specification results, and the assessment pass fail. The DVP and R shall be reviewed and signed off by both customer and suppliers. In addition, this section lists all material certifications which is related to steel, plastics, platings, etc. as specified on the print. 11th PPAP document is Initial Process Studies. Usually this section shows all statistical process control charts affecting the most critical characteristics. The intent is to demonstrate that critical processes have stable variability and that is running near the intended nominal value. It is also known as the process capability study. 12th PPAP document is Qualified Laboratory Documentation. Copy of all laboratory certifications of the laboratories that perform the test reports. Also required all calibration certificates of all measuring instruments and testing equipments. 13th document is Appearance Approval Report. A copy of Appearance Approval Report form signed by the customer, applicable for components affecting appearance only and required by the customer. 14th document of PPAP is Sample Production Parts. A sample from the same lot of initial production run. The PPAP package usually shows a picture of sample and where it is kept. Let's move to the 15th PPAP element, which is Master Sample. A sample signed off by the customer and supplier that usually is used to train operators and subjective inspections. After the defined interval, master sample should be replaced and approved by the customer periodically. The 16th element of PPAP is checking aids. When there are special tools for checking parts, this section shows a picture of tool and calibration records including dimensional report of the tool. 17th PPAP element is customer specific requirements. Each customer may have specific requirement to be included in the PPAP. In general, it should be the length, width, height, weight, GSM or any technical value depend upon the product. The 18th and last PPAP document is Part Submission Warrant, which is PSW. This is the form that summarizes the whole PPAP package. This form shows the reason for submission, which may be design change, annual validation, etc., and level of documents submitted to the customer. There is a section that asks for result meeting all drawings and specification requirements, yes or no, refer to the whole package. So friends, this was the basic knowledge of PPAP documents. Now let's discuss about the PPAP approval status. The status of PPAP will approved when the part meets all the customer requirements and the supplier is authorized to ship production quantities of the part. The status of PPAP will be interim approved if permits shipment of part on a limited time or piece quantity basis. The status of PPAP will be rejected when the part does not meet the customer requirements. So friends, thanks for watching my video. If you like this video, then please share with your friends and colleagues, and also do subscribe to my YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to get the notification about my future videos.